This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Love going to throw right away. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play fake. Here's Love. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On now is the Packers punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. On the return is Williams. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
2nd and 7. Here's Hurts to throw. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went ahead and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6. They'll look to throw here. They juked him, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
And this is exactly the kind of drive you're hoping for out of the gates. They're mixing the run and the pass well, keeping this defense off balance early. And they're on the march here with another first down.
And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Love. This completes to the tight end, Tucker Kraft.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Counter play with Jacobs. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Once again, it's Jacobs. To the 43, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Love now. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown. Then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out, still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Love back to it here after the pick six. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Jacobs going to try the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. 23 yards the pickup there.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 5. In motion, the tight end. Now Love. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 22-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Operating from the gun. Love. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have got it back to within a score.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call on a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A first down carry for Barkley. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, They broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
They'll drop to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple. And it's second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete. And there don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's third down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Pulled in at the 24. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
They go play action with Hurts. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man covers were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down and 6 now. They'll set up to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he takes it down to the 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Barkley. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Eagles. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hurts. And this is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Throwing. Love. Completes it again to Dobbs. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
To throw now. Here's Love. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And this one is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The kick by McManus is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having 0 fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 7. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
Love looking to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
On now is the Packers punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And taken right at the 35. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles are able to add on to that lead. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
The defense was dialed into the pass. They overlooked the draw play.
And how often do we talk about the oldies are still goodies? Because that draw play comes straight from Coach Paul Brown's playbook, going all the way back to the original Cleveland Browns.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 83 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go bootleg. Love sliding out of the pocket. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Play fake. Here's Love. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Barkley, inside handoff. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the defensive penetration there blew that play up and got him 2 points.
How about how they got off at the snap of the football, got upfield into the backfield, and created the big play? That's the key to everything.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Williams to return. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay,
I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Bond. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Love. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Second and 10.
Love now.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, he stays up, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
That is caught, and he is going to have a Packers first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give them a new set of downs.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the end. 4th down, you've got to go for it, and they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
To pass, here's Jordan Love.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Love.
Completed out left to Dobbs.
A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal.
Jacobs going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line.
He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Love, this is 3rd and goal. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Jaden Reed,
a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
It's Lucas Van Ness there to drop him behind the line.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. A handoff, Barkley running left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Glove.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Open man, he's got Reed.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down, here's Barkley again.
And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 35. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27.
They'll go to Barkley again. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, it's Hurts.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Hurts.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
A handoff to Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff. Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. They'll run for it with Barkley. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about. That's all.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but Definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. On the return is Williams. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll take this down to the 33.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
This is 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Running left, it's Barkley. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Lambeau, good night, everybody.